Packard 12 all-weather town car by Rollston 1938. Series 1608. Body style 495. 175 horsepower, 473.3 cubic inches modified L-head V12 engine, 3-speed selective synchro mesh manual transmission, independent front suspension with coil springs, solid axle rear suspension with longitudinal leaf springs, and 4-wheel hydraulic drum brakes. Wheelbase, 139 inches. For much of the classic era, New York City coach builder Rollston produced some of the finest coachwork on Packard chassis. These were always among the most expensive bodies available, as they were produced with a standard of craftsmanship unusually high, even for this rarefied era, with beautiful, rock-solid construction and the finest materials throughout. In particular, Rollston was highly regarded for its formal town cars, which were intended to be driven by a liveried chauffeur who rode exposed to the elements, in the style of horse-drawn carriages. This style achieved enough popularity that it was eventually catalogued by the Packard factory as a semi-custom. With the Great Depression hammering even the greatest of fortunes, Packard felt that it was necessary to produce the all-weather town car in the most cost-effective way possible. Thus, rather than having Rollston build entire new bodies from scratch, Packard sent them its own touring limousine bodies, which were then modified by Rollston with padded formal roof lines, open front seats, and fine interior trim. These all-weather town cars were built to the same high standards as the coach builder's fully unique creations, and they were every inch a Rollston. The 16th series all-weather town car offered here is one of only 3 survivors recorded by Rollston historian Dr. Charles Blackman. Its original firewall tag records its delivery as October 8, 1937, by the Packard branch located on 11th Avenue in New York City. Unfortunately, Rollston records are very scarce on semi-customs, so the original owner of this example is not known. It was acquired by Richard and Linda Cugden from an East Coast owner in 1989, and it has resided in their Detroit stable since, as one of the longest-term residents of their collection. The car is finished in the classic shade of Packard maroon and features leather upholstery for the driver and soft wool broadcloth for the passengers, with the interior being lit by courtesy lamps and surrounded by richly hued woodwork. It is still equipped with a tendelete, to cover the driver's seat in the rain, as well as a comfortable lap robe for the passengers. Mr. and Mrs. Cugden have received a lot of enjoyment out of showing their beautiful Packard during their over 2 decades of ownership. It has achieved CCCA Premier status, and it appeared at the Meadowbrook Concours Elegance in both 2004 and 2010. When the Packard Proving Grounds were declared a National Historic Landmark, Mr. Cugden, a trustee of the facility, brought this car to display at the dedication. It was also pictured in an article on the Cugden collection, called Roadmaster, which was published in the September 7, 2009, issue of Forbes magazine. The Packard would continue to show well at local events, but it is perhaps best suited to begin a career as an outstanding CCCA Raven car, where its combination of vast space for friends and luggage and abundant V12 power would make it a superb choice. This finely crafted Rollston Packard, offered for sale today for the first time in a quarter century, is ready to take its place in another owner's carriage house.